Hello, 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 Sassy Nation. We are here for part 10. That's right. We've been doing this for 9 long days. We have been doing this grab and go series where I show you just quick grab and go type items that you can use for your business. How you can kind of lure your clients in. What you can use at festivals and vendor shows. What you can put in your Christmas store. Whatever it may be, over the last 9 days, I have shown you multiples of little tiny items that are great grab and go, cost effective, that you could sell under $20. The last 2 days I showed you some set ideas. Well, today I went right back to maybe just one main theme idea, and that is socks. You can't go wrong with socks, that is for sure. They are great stocking stuffers. They're great white elephant gifts, grab bag gifts, so much more. But there's a wide variety of types of socks out there. You would need to get a sock that is pretty much has a high end of polyester in it. Best place to get them is Silky Socks, but I know, not everybody wants to order from there. They want quick, grab it, go type of sock. You can get some from Walmart. So I'm going to show you a Walmart sock today, a couple Walmart socks today, and I'm going to show you some Silky Socks. Yes, you're going to get a different look from them. We're going to kind of go through it. I did even find, wait for it, I know you're here for it. I know you're here for it. Be still every mama's heart, but to have the baby socks. That's right. We're gonna do the 6 to 12-month-old toddler. These are toddler socks, and then we're gonna go all the way up to where my man child is, and that's this one, the extra large no-sew sock. Can you believe that my 19-year-old probably fit into these, and now he's in this size? True story. So we are going to do the little itty bitty socks today. We are going to do the extra large from Silky Socks. We are going to do these ones. These are the And One brand. I'm going to talk to you about the Walmart socks in a second. You're also going to be able to use these colored socks. Are amazing. They're great for kind of goof proof. And I say that is because they have the colored on the bottom, add a really cute design to the top. We're also going to get into those dress socks. So these dress socks are made for the men, more than likely, I would have to say, or the ladies who want to wear just knee-high socks. This would be a great sock for you to wear. They are considered the dress sock. Excuse me. You can make these a little bit more fancy in design. You can definitely bougie these up a little bit if you wanted to. These you want to, give a different look too. So let me tell you, we are going to be in sock heaven today. All right, let me go grab all the rest of the designs. While I do that, you know where we're at. Let's hear the products that we're going to be using in this video. Let's see. All right. As you can see, the products we're going to use in this video, you'll need a polyester sock. In this video, I'm going to show you ones from Walmart and Silky Socks brand. You're going to need some sublimation designs, a heat press, heat tape, blowout paper, lint roller, and you're going to use your manufacturer's instructions. Today, I'm kind of just winging it. So let's wing it. Let's do this. First things first. Let's talk about socks and their brand and what ones I have found before I discovered Silky Socks. Here's the brands that I was using. I was using the And One brand. Now, if you look at the And One brand, it does tell you that it's 94% polyester and 2% spandex. Don't worry, I've subbed on these a lot. All right, so that's the And One brand. You can also use, let me just grab all of this. This is the Athletic Works brand. You can also use this one. This one happens to be, I just want to give you correct numbers here. This is 98% polyester, 1% spandex, and 1% nylon. This is also a brand that you can use, and these are in your local Walmart. Now, the little baby socks, while I was at the good old Wall of Mart today, I found Wonder Nation. Wonder Nation has the low-cut toddler socks with the comfort toe. These guys, believe it or not, are 96 polyester, 2% spandex, and it says 2% of other fiber. I'm not sure what other fiber it is, but we'll just go with it. So you can get the little tiny ones as well. And then you have Silky Socks, which are, I believe, 100% polyester, or they're close up there in the polyester count, between like 98%, and then it has either some cotton in it or it has a little bit of spandex. So let's also talk jig. Jig, shall we? All right. Now, the people over at Silky Socks absolutely crack up laughing at me every time I use this particular jig, because I use it backwards. I know, okay? But I use it backwards. Believe it or not, this is supposed to go into the toe area and you're supposed to bring this all up. I don't. I usually put it for this particular sock right here. I use it this way because I like it have a handle when it's hanging off of my press, and then I don't get, you know, my hands don't get burnt. So I use it backwards. It's okay though. I don't care what you do as long as you do it. I don't know how you got there. All right, he does have the longer jigs for the dress sock, but I use these from Heat Press Nation. These are their MDF board looking jigs. They're about 13 bucks if you're gonna get them. But let me tell you, I use these jigs and I've been using them for quite some time. I love the straight jig over the hockey jig. I could do a lot more with it. Also, for the baby socks, I just took some cardboard, I figured out what the width of my sock was, added a little extra, not too much, and I made my own jig. I mean, seriously. Can we just, let's just look at this for a second. These are so darn cute. And it's not very often that I get to find the little tiny socks, so I was pretty stoked when I could. You can even get the ruffled socks with the really cute lacy ruffles on them. Just make sure you don't press the ruffle, but you could press the rest of the sock and it comes out adorable. But I didn't have any here to grab for you. So these are just too stinking cute. All right, so we have our designs. I may have to print off some more, but we're gonna do all of these today. So it's going to be a little bit longer of a live, but I want you to see how they press. I want you to get into the know of how these all work. The nice thing that I like to do is I like to have a couple of these laying around. So when I'm doing one, I could do another. You can do multiples at a time depending on your press. I'm not going to use Big Papa today, who is my bigger press, when I do the larger socks. I'm going to just do it on the kitty corner, and I'll do one at a time for that. So there you go. First things first, as we talk about you, lint roll, okay? Lint roll all of your socks. So I'm going to sit here. We're going to lint roll all of your socks. You want to do both sides of your sock. Why? Well, you're going to get blue on the back. You're going to get blue on the front. There's no way of getting around it. Get it all off. Let's get some of this off of here. Get a clean slate, if you will. I hope you guys have been enjoying these past parts. If you are watching me for the first time, it's #sassy. If you end up seeing this video over on my YouTube channel later on after this has been aired live, please just do #rewind either here or over on YouTube. All right. We can lint roll, lint roll, lint roll. We lint roll all of our socks. All socks get lint rolled, front and back. Do your due diligence. Get all of the lint off of there. It's, you know, just something you got to do. Sometimes when you do your stuff, you have to prep it. You can't just press and go. You really do have to prep your items. I don't care if it's brand new, right out of a sealed package. You still want to prep every one of your items. You don't want to just kind of leave it around here. Now, I will tell you, the Silky Socks brand, they do have, I got to grab another one. They do have their socks. The no-sew socks do come with a jig. So you don't even have to have the jig. There you go. That's just wonderful. Today, we're going to do all holiday socks. All right. Let's get these, let's see if I can get these little guys out of the way first. So we have some interesting designs. These are for our larger socks. We'll prep those while some are pressing. These are for the little guys. So there we go. And what I will do is, even if I don't have enough prints for said socks, I will at least do one side of the sock so you could see a comparison between a Silky Socks brand and a Walmart brand. Now, we are going to, because I'm doing this end to end here, snip, snip. Super easy to do these. I'm going to do this baby one. We're going to do the baby one two at a time. Okay, we'll finish cutting those in a second. Let's prep, prep, prep. So here's your toe. You want to make sure that they're both on the same, however you want it to read for you. So for the toe, let's give it a quick pre-press though. I want to give it a quick, just to kind of flatten out. Nothing too crazy. I will flatten it out just a little bit. And then I'm going to show you. So you get this little ridge. If you flatten it out and you heat press it, the little heel area will flatten out. All right, so there you go. We are going to, yes, my template is slightly bigger. Now, here we go. I don't normally like to use purse spray, but I really don't want to use tape for this. So I am going to do a quick spray. I use a repositionable spray from Loctite. All I do, a little spray. Nothing crazy. Okay. And then I want the happy to be up at the top. Lay it down. I want the happy to be at the top. And lay it down. So there you go. Now we're going to get butcher paper because there's going to be a lot of blowout and bleed on this because of the way I did my lines. So you definitely want to make sure that you have blowout paper for this project. Okay, we're going to put this down. Now, could I do both sides at the same time? I don't know. I'm afraid for me that it would do some weird off-shadowing. So I personally am not going to. I don't want to do a squish the heck out of me method either. I just want to do some firm pressure. Nothing really crazy about it. Next up, we're going to do two different style socks. We have this guy we're going to do. I think that's the right one. And then we're going to put the jig on this guy, and I'm going to do a comparison side by side. Pretty sure they're going to come out pretty darn spot on. Or just might have to print the other ones. You know what, we'll do these ones first. Let's get my jigs out. Now, for your jig, you just want to be able to slide these on, and you just decide how you want to do it. It's really easy. I just make sure that the toe is straight. Now, I also make sure that I don't like stretch it. I just let it naturally, whoops. I just let it naturally come on here, and I don't overly stretch this. Okay, that's probably one of the tips I can offer so that you don't end up with it being super stretched either. Don't pull stretch it, all right? Just enough to where it's on there. All right, let's move this out of the way. Let's get our baby socks. OMG, they're adorable. Okay. Look at how stinking cute they are. I can't wait. Cool them off just a little. Add a little of the spritz. Nothing too crazy. Okay. Again, we want the at the toes. Okay. And at the toes. Okay, we're going to throw it back onto this paper, except I'm just going to put it under a new spot on my paper so that I don't get the crazy off-gassing. Okay, we'll put those away. Let's keep going with the prep work. All right, so I want my toes to have it going. Now you get to decide. This is one of those crazy designs. You get to decide how you want them. If you put it up this way, it's going to be an upside down tree. So, because it's going to go up the, I don't know which template I was using for this one, but that's not it. We'll do this one instead. Okay. This one's going to be a tight squeeze, but we're here for it. I will show you what happens, why I try not to tape these, just because it does kind of pull the fibers up on the sock. But we're going to do one side one way and one side the other, just so you guys can see what it looks like top and bottom. Okay. All right, so there's that. We'll set that one aside. Let's start prepping the other ones. These are going to be the fun socks that you could do with the cool toes at the bottom. You get working. And doesn't that heat press decide that it wants to go off? Okay, quick PSA on this one. It's hot. Okay, it's hot, but you want to hurry up and pull them off. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so there you go. Super cute. Now, could you roll them? Yes, you could definitely do the roll method, and I'll show you on the bigger socks. Because these guys are so thin, I really wasn't necessarily worrying about them, but I mean, check that out. How adorable are these little guy socks? So you let them cool, let them dry off. We'll put those off into there. I say dry off, right? They need to cool. So there's the jig that I made. I've just made a rounded toe on either side. Nothing too crazy. You could do a ton of baby socks all in one platen. So make sure you know, think about what kind of size socks you like to carry. All right. Now I'm going to use the crazy jigs from Silky Socks because they pick on me. Why not? So in theory, they're supposed to go into this like this. Because it has that oddball shape, I'm not going to do it. Okay? So they pick on me over at Silky Socks because of the way I do this. But that's okay. Roxanne forgives me every time I do it, and so does Mr. Silky himself. Okay? There you go. Bring this all the way, and there you go. This is all I do. Okay, why? Because I like to just, so I don't judge me. So we're gonna put this in here. Probably could have gone a little bit wider with my image, but that's okay. For the sake of this tutorial, I don't care. Just for the tutorial, for you guys to be able to see what the heck I am doing. So we're just going to wrap that around. All right, we're going to do the same for this side. Again, we're going to do 2 of them. You can buy these cardboard jigs from Silky Socks. He does have a couple different sizes, I believe, or shapes, I should say. You can get him there. He is super sweet. He is an absolute blessing. So if you haven't bought Silky Socks, I do love the Silky Socks brand. I love the colored foot on this. I love that you could see the colored ridges, and I'll show you why that's going to be a bonus after I'm done. It's kind of a forgiving feature, if you will. Okay. Especially when it stretches. Whoops. Okay, so again, I would have made my design a tad bit bigger, but hopefully when I go to do the back side, it can forgive me when I go to do this. All right, let's get a clean piece of butcher paper. All right, make your little burrito. Put this in. Now, okay, listen, I put it out. I literally will stick this off the edge. The judgment is real around here. All right, we're going to add another piece of butcher paper. I'm going to fix the pressure. And there you go. We have the design for the top part of that one and that one. Now this is for the longer one. Now these longer ones, you definitely want to put them into a jig. I've never done it to where you don't put it into a jig, and the reason I guess I put it in the jig is so that One, you can get, you know, it all inside here. But you know what? I want to go ahead and I'm just going to show you what happens if you don't put it in the jig versus if you do put it in the jig. Really, it's dependent on you. I've seen it done both ways by people. So we are going to just, once I get this on the press, I will definitely flatten this guy out a little bit because the heel is where it's at, right? So I will show you, I will go through this process just to show you, because a lot of people ask me if you could do it without the jig. Well, in theory, yes, you could do it without the jig. I'm just not so sure, one, you're going to get the nice roll that you're going to need, because that's what the jig is for, is that roll. So you can kind of cover up your seams. Then you have the issue of this heel. This kind of just stretches everything out. So I would like to just show you, for the sake of this tutorial, we will go for that. Now, as I said, because of time constraints, we're only going to do one side of the socks, just so that you can see how cute they are. Now, I want to show you in a past tutorial. I wanted to tell you in this particular one, you see why I actually will sit there and take the time to line it up right here? I can see the bleed mark. Over time, it will come off because this is cotton, okay? But for me, when I'm giving it to my client, I don't want the bleed to show on the red. So I would personally take the time to line it up right here. You can put a piece of tape right there so it doesn't sub on that. But for me, I just line it right up, and I've never had any issues. So these are just some tips and tricks that I'm teaching you. I will show you what I mean on the back side. I'll do those ones on the back side. Give me 1 second. We're going to press the back side of these right now, and I'll show you what I mean before we do this guy. It does not. I've never had an issue, but I will say this. What will happen is then I know how high to put my sock on the jig. I've never had an issue with it. I've never covered it with butcher paper. I've never had a repeat project, but I always put my sock right up to that line because it gave me, now I knew how high I put it. But that's, for me, I don't. So if you decide, by all means, please, I will not judge what you do. Okay, so on this back side, let's take the time for a second. We're going to stretch him out just a little so he's a straight line. I will take the time to go just like this and line up. Now, people will put tape here. They'll put the tape down the edge, and I'll show you what I mean on the other sock. But I don't. I line it up so it's right on the edge because I want my customer to end up with perfect right out of the packaging. I don't want them to have to you know what, it would help if I put it on the right spot. I don't want my client to not have perfect right away. Okay, so we're gonna roll this, and this is a very forgiving design because it has white in the background. That's why I said this design was okay for me, because I won't have necessarily a seam, and because there's color in between these lines, that's also very forgiving as well. So we're going to line this back up, straighten her out. I line it right up on the edge. Best I can. Obviously, like I said, my design is a little bit, I should have done it just a touch wider. That's fine. Now, that's one. What you can do, and what a lot of people do, is they will take this, make it straight, and then they will follow the edge of their sock so that they don't get the dreaded bleed. Okay, because I don't know about you, I just like my clients to have a nice product before it goes out. I don't want them to say, oh, well, you know, it'll wash out later. No, I don't want to do that. I'm in the quality snob department, so that's how I do that. We're going to trim this up. Now remember, this is just for the tutorial. I would have gone through and done my due diligence, reprinted these, but you know what? I didn't want to right now. I just wanted to get to the nuts and bolts, if you will, of this particular tutorial. So there you go. If I go just like that, I could lay it right on there, and then it doesn't matter either way. You make sure you roll it in on both sides. This is that roll method that has been around for a hot minute. Right, just roll it around, make sure that you're designed, and then you just lay it down. Okay, and like I said, it won't sub on that heat tape. Just lay your heat tape down. All right, we're going to put these both back onto the press. Okay, put my little handy dandy handle out. Okay. And there you go. And then I'll show you why I do that. Again, I just don't want a project to bleed into the cotton. I want it to look nice. While this is working, I do want to take the opportunity that Silky Socks does offer and comes with all of his stuff are the bags. That's a huge selling feature, in my opinion, is when they come with the bags. But let's say you don't get it from Silky Socks. Let's say you go to your local Walmart. You can get them. The treat bags, go into where they sell the stuff to make cupcakes and wedding cakes, that kind of aisle, right? You can find these bags. So I found these bags. These are great for the key fobs from an earlier grab and go, but these treat bags will work great for your socks. I will show you how you just put a piece of paper or grab a template from the Sassy Subbers new packaging line that I've came out with today that you can add to the top and really just make it a finished looking product. All right, pull these off. All right, there you go. Now there is no, on the one that I did, there is no mark on there, all right? And then the one that you do with the tape, that it just feels like a little extra, because you can just line it up. Line up the tape if it comes off anytime soon. There we go. Okay, same idea. You can definitely add it so then nothing comes onto that cotton mark. Pull these all off. Now somebody was asking me about the design, and does this off gas onto your next project? No, it does not. What I will tell you is this. This is a great gauge of where to line up my next sock, so that I'll just keep lining it up on the same spot every time. I know how, so I know if it's scrunched down too much or if it's stretched too much. This is my gauge. That lets me know exactly where I'm going to put that sock every single time. How cute are those? Absolutely adorable. So far we've done those two. Now let's pre-press this long sock that we have here from Silky. Again, I could tell you the reasons of why we're going to put it on the jig, but I want you to see. I need you guys to see for you to understand. We're going to pre-press this very quickly. Give it a little love. I want to get that heel to lay flat. And it will. It just needs a little bit of moving around, and that's what helps when you have a jig, is that it will move around and it'll stretch that out a little bit so that it will lay flat. Okay, so I am going to go all in on this one. We are going to do it on heel side. I already know I'm going to end up with a bunched up mark. So what you can do is stretch it a little bit if you needed to, but I'm going to end up with some sort of a little bit of a mark on this, but we're here for it, right? So you just lay it down, and this is, in theory, this should work, right? But I'm going to show you the difference in what happens when you stretch it. And when you stretch it, it gets down into the fibers a little bit better. It gets down into those ridges so that it doesn't look so weird when you do stretch it. So we're going to tape this down. All right, we're going to get some more butcher paper, because why do we use butcher paper? I've said it for the last 9 days. I'll say it for the next 100 years. We don't want a repeat project happening on our white products. So this goes end to end. Add another piece. Oh, there's my blowout paper. Sweet. There you go. So I'm just going to let this do what it needs to do. We're going to grab the other one, and we're going to put it on a sock jig. There it is. Nope, that's not the one. Is there an empty one? Where's my empty one? Oh, there it is, behind me. Okay. So the reason, again, for the sock jig is so that it stretches it ever so slightly so that you can put your image on here. Now, you can have it to where this just kind of peeks off the top if you want, if it's just too big. These do measure about 17 inches or so. So these guys are pretty long. Now, you see what happens? This stretches this out. So when I go to pre-press this, it's going to hit differently. That's a lot of sock right there. But it's stretching this out enough to where all of your image is going right deep down inside of your sock. So when you're stretching it around your calf, it doesn't distort your image as much. That's why we do this. Okay. While I have the other one right here, we are going to do it the same one, same way, so y'all can see it, the same thing. Okay, again, I probably could have gone a little bit wider on my image, but that's okay. For the sake of the tutorial, you will completely understand. And because I do the roll method, it's not too much of an issue. So, I think we've got enough design on the length. Again, tape it down, or use your repositionable spray. I'll just tape this down. Now I'm going to press this, and then I will show you the side-by-side comparison of what it looks like and the reasons why. Now let's put this. That's going to be okay. See, this is why. Let me show you why we always put new butcher paper down, or you use a different spot on your butcher paper if you want to reuse it. But for this, because I went diagonal, I can't reuse it. It bleeds, okay? This is a bleed. I'll put it on the bigger screen. So this is a bleed. This is what a repeat project would look like to you guys. You don't want that on a shirt later on. You don't want that on another pair of socks, especially if there's a white background. You don't want anything that's going to definitely show. So this is why you put your butcher paper down, because unless your bleed is always underneath your item, then it's not a bleed. Okay, bleeds mean they go beyond your product. Okay. Blow out paper off. Now I will tend to use my blowout paper a little bit more than I will my actual my bottom paper, because that bottom paper is pretty key, and that's where a lot of the blowout goes, not necessarily through the top. See if I can get this all in this press here. I think I did. Here we go. I usually do my longer socks on my bigger press than I do on this little press, but I figured, you know what? We're just going to try it. Can you piece it? Sure, you can piece it. All right. I mean, the design comes out amazing. That is for darn sure. You definitely see a lot of beautiful full color with this. It would be really hard to do the roll method with this because, again, you have nothing to roll it around, okay? When you do take this, though, and you put it on your arm, it will start to stretch and distort your image. It's going to happen either way for either sock, okay? But you see how this, look, I ended up with that. Well, I could probably pawn that off because there's white in the design. I could say, oh, that's just part of the image. We all know it's not. That would be a quality issue on my end. Okay, so that's what happens when you put it on there. Oh, those are nice compression socks, that's for sure. So, yes, the color does come out amazing, but it's going to come out just as amazing on this one too. Okay. Now, I won't be doing the back sides of these, just again, for the sake of the tutorial, we are just doing the fronts or whatnot. So this would be able to have the nice roll method if I left it on there. Yes, it looks like, but you want to pull these off as soon as you get them done so that they shrink back down. But look, side by side comparison, same color, right? The only difference is that when I stretch this one, okay, here we go. We're going to put them both on. Hold on. Let me flip it. Okay, so side by side, this is the one that we had on with the press, or we just pressed it with no jig. Okay, this is the one that I did with the jig. Okay, so side by side comparison. All right, they look the same. Okay, the colors are identical. It's in the stretch that you're going to notice it a little bit more. Okay, so yes, can you do it without the jig? Yes, but the jig is there so that you can roll this so you don't end up with a dreaded seam down the middle or down the sides. Okay, so again, when I put this on my arm, you can see how that, even at stretched mark, now when I put it on this one, oh, hold on, got to get it around here. Okay, there you go. So you can, yes, the roll method is just not going to work unless you have a jig. So, and you're going to run the risk of having little problem areas like this white one. You'll have that. So there you go. Just make sure you pull them off of your hot jig quickly when they're done, and then they kind of just snap back. So there you go for that one. It'll catch up, don't worry. It'll catch up. So the time and the temp I'm doing on this one is $3.95 for 50 seconds. All right, so we have done those. Now let's do this guy right here. And we will do the last one. Again, not doing full socks. I'm just showing you what it looks like. So let's get these ones done from Silky. These are his no-show ones that come with it. Can you get no-show ones from Walmart? Yes, you can. And some of them do have a cardboard jig in there. I just personally like to get the ones from Silky for about 2 reasons. One, they're a quality sock. They're a nice, comfy sock. 2, they come with packaging. I'm all about the packaging. All right, we're going to press these real quick. I'm going to show you what the top and the bottom look like while we get this next one prepped. All right. I know y'all can see me now, so forgot to change the camera. Okay. This one is a little bit on the smaller side on the width. Don't worry about it. Again, the roll method will help me on this one. Not by much, but it's going to help me. I just wanted to at least do it for a side-by-side comparison. I was rushing when I was printing these, so I would have done my due diligence and fixed it to make sure that it looked correct. You always want to make sure that your bleed is beyond. So if this is measuring 4 inches, you could have gone, the 4 1/4 would have, and that's pretty much, the 4 1/4 is not enough. I would probably go 4 1/2 so that I can make sure that I'm really outside of that area for this. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm okay with it. I bought the socks so that I could show you how to do them. All right. All right, we're going to slip this guy in on a blank spot over here. Oh, you know what? I don't even have a blank spot. There's no blank spot. See, again, that's why. All right. So this is what it would look like when you do the top and the bottom of a Silky sock when it comes on their jig. And then you just flip it over and you do the back side. Okay? So that's what it would look like and in a nutshell. Now, just a food for thought. Okay? Could you leave this in here so that it stays and it has that shape? Yes, yes you can. My suggestion would be though, is to put some sort of a sticker logo on the inside so it covers up that little piece of information, or you can cut a new one out so you can stick it inside your socks. You can do that as well. But yes, you definitely could. Some people just put the labels right inside here. Some people actually sell it like that too. So it's really just comes, you know, up to you. The roll method still works on this. You just come around, bring it around town. That's right. I said it. Okay. Bring it all the way around. And you just keep right on going to where it just barely shows on this other side. Why? Why do we do that? Well, because then it lines up. Then you don't have that dreaded seam. But keep in mind, be kind to yourself. Show yourself some grace for this, because even big box stores like Macy's have these sublimation socks, and they too show the seam. And they're selling them for $25, $30. So really, give yourself some grace. Okay? You just want to make sure that it's all the way around the edge. Be a little bit more forgiving with yourself. If you really looked at the amount of products that are sold out there in the world that are less than perfect, then you will show yourself some grace. All right, so we have that. And they print just as well. So I know my image is off. I got that. But if you were to go by a side-by-side comparison in the color, same kind of color. So whether or not you're a huge Silky fan like I am, or you needed to hurry up and get some from Walmart, you could go and get the Walmart and One brand, or you can get the Athletic Works brand from Walmart, and they will sub just as beautiful, except they just don't come with the pretty packaging. All right, so that's something you could do. And then yes, you could have I could have rolled this all over onto the back and saved my image. I could have saved this. I know you don't think I could, but I could have totally saved this image just by doing this roll method and putting it over onto the back and pressing it. I can save my image so that this is perfect. Right? So there we go. We're going to pull this off. Grab these socks. And there, lay this all out so you guys can see the variety of socks that we did today. Clean up this mess. Do a quick packaging. All right, so there you go. These are just some of the socks that we did. Please take your time and do your due diligence when you do your socks. They're really not that hard. Just make sure you put a little effort into them. Now, let's talk about the effort for a second. Now, you can get these clear plastic bags if you wanted to. Again, I stated that Silky Socks has their own bags that do come with their socks, so that you can also put them. They're so big that I just never know which way to do this. Oh, he must fold them somehow. Anyway, this is what it would look like inside the bag. You could put them just like this so you can show them off. He does have this cool little feature down here, this notch, so people can go in and feel the sock if they wanted to, because we're a touchy-feely community. So there you go. That's what it would look like inside the cellophane there. Now, let's say, again, you're not using Silky's brand, or you want smaller packaging. Okay, you can fold them and put them inside smaller bags. And when you do that, what you can also do is take a piece of cardstock printed with your logo, whatever it may be. We're going to put the little guys in a packaging. Where's my little bag? So we're going to take our little guys right here. Slide them in. I will fold it down. And then you can take this. That's probably just a touch too big for this particular thing. Okay. And then you just go like this, and then you would just staple it. So your logo would go just like that. And this is how you can package all of your socks. All right, now sometimes I will roll my socks depending on what it is I'm putting it in. I have made mine look like cupcakes. So, yep, I've taken mine and I put them in a cupcake box. And I've taken them and I just keep rolling them and rolling them and rolling them and rolling them. Actually, I fold them in half and roll them. Fold them in half and then roll them. You put them in a little piece of, you put them in a cupcake paper and you put them in like this, and now you've got little socks. They're great for babies' showers, for a baby shower and whatnot, but you can make them look like cupcakes that they're getting. So they're getting a sock cupcake, if you will, and put it in a cupcake box. There's lots of fun ways that you could do packaging for socks. These are the best grab and go, under $20 that you can do. Let me give you the products that we've used in this video. So for the Silky Socks, I will tell you, first of all, you need a polyester socks. And the ones that I showed you today in this tutorial come from Walmart and Silky Socks. Walmart's brand was the And one and the Athletic Works one. You can get the other ones, the best ones on the market, come from Silky Socks. You need a sublimation design, heat press, heat tape, blowout paper, a lint roller, and please make sure that you pay attention to what the manufacturer's instructions. And if you don't know what they are, my go-to is $3.85 for 65. Today I did these at $3.95 for 50. So you make sure that you have that. Now with that said, someone asked a question about these socks. So these are the extra large. My daughter wears a size 11 shoe and these were too big for her. So these are the extra large. I probably should have used a large for her. This will fit my husband who wears a size 13. So if that helps whoever asked that question, the large would be for the women's like 11, 12. These were just way too big for my daughter. I would probably wear maybe the medium to large because I'm a size 10. Just look at their size guide. Silky Socks has a great size guide for all of their products. And make sure that you just kind of look and know and figure it out. But these are a great sock. As you could tell, they smell gorgeous. Great grab and go. Great grab bag. Great white elephant. Great for the kiddos to bring, you know, to birthday parties. Remember, you can make them into a sock cupcake and make a really cute design with it. Make sure you do your packaging too. Just don't throw them in a bag. Add a little bit of pizzazz. Make sure you put them in a bag, add your sticker, your information. Maybe you want to put on the top of that bag, you want to put some fun information. You can now head over to Sassy Summer on Etsy, and I now have a whole bundle package business where it's all the stuff you can print out on cardstock, and now you have a business packaging that you can print off yourself using your regular printer or print and cut feature for Cricut and Silhouette. Whatever you may use, I just print mine out on my regular printer and I hand cut them. They're not that hard. And then this way I just add all the details that I would like to add. So mine would say thank you with my business name. And then on the back I would have my website on the back of this. Make sure it's upside down when you do it in your printer. Okay. There you go. Thank you guys so much for joining me for part 10. This will end up over on YouTube. Sorry for the lengthiness of this, but you know what? There's a lot of different variety of socks. I hope you got to see the little tiny itty bitty baby ones that now you can add to your baby collection line. All the way up to some fun, wacky feet socks like this, to your no-show socks, to your dress socks. Don't worry, wherever you can find a really good sock, you can make some great grab and go. I'll see you guys all tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time for day 11. We've only got 2 more days of this, that's right. And then we are done with the grab and go series of things that you could sell under $20. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you guys all on the flip side.